Hello everyone, it is October 12th and I'm going to do another underglaze video painting pumpkins. If you just watched the last video I posted about a kiln opening, I had mentioned I was going to do snowmen, but I think it's too early for that, you know. So, I mean, I'm going to a pumpkin festival, I may as well paint a couple pumpkins, right? So we'll get started here. These are Amaco velvet underglazes that I use. I use a few speedball. I prefer the Amaco velvets because I've had better luck with them not sticking to the kiln shelf, because I usually paint the bottoms of my platters too, but I probably won't on these. So I wiped them off, and it's really important to make sure you get all the kiln dust off of there. I don't think I did that on, I don't know, just if you watch the kiln unloading, I had a couple pieces that I thought the glaze crawled a little bit, and it could have been a clay glaze issue, but there's probably a better chance that there was some dust on there from the bisque firing, because the bisque firing they were in was one that was very unsuccessful. It was the one, if you follow, maybe you saw pictures I posted of it exploding. I was sitting in my chair in my living room, and my kiln is in a little greenhouse outside of my house, and I was just preheating it because I knew some of the pieces were damp, and I forgot to turn it off before it went kaboom. I think that's a scratch. So a little. Anyway, this is what I'm going to be painting on today. These now this is from another tray that I bought, a plastic tray that I use as a mold. I just, you know, if I'm going down the aisle of Meijer or Target or, you know, someplace like that, and I see a plastic dish that I like, I just buy it, and then I, you know, use it as a mold. So I've got these wiped off, and I will lower you down so we can get painting. It's windy here today, really windy, which I'm hoping is not that windy this weekend when I'm in the Weber Pumpkin Festival this weekend. So I'm really hoping it's not that windy when I'm trying to set a tent up. Wind and tents do not go well together. So okay, so yeah, I was gonna do some snowmen, but anyway, let's see. I'll make sure put my underglaze tube is got some underglaze in it. There we go. Shake it up good. This is what I outline them with. It's the Xiem XIEM applicator bulb, and this is a number 20 tip. And yes, I know the words are backwards, but that's the way I film, because I could film the other way, but then I wouldn't be able to see the camera here, and I wouldn't know if you were seeing what I was seeing, and I wouldn't be able to tell if you know, what I'm doing is in the frame of the camera. So anyway, and I'll explain. I'll get started. Like I said, if you follow me, you know why I have a zillion Band-Aids on my hand. I got into my son's Band-Aid box, and we adopted a couple kittens. And needless to say, I tried to catch one this morning, and they're only, I guess they're about 3 months old. And like I said, they came from a shelter, and they were, I don't know if they were feral, or, you know, if they were, how long they were outside. I'm not real sure. I think the one that bit me today, I think it might have a broken tail, or did have a broken tail. So that's the only thing when you're adopting kittens from a shelter, you know, kind of not sure what you're going to get. So I tried to pick it up today, and it, needless to say, it bit me and attacked me and scratched the heck out of me. Let's see, let's see how this, let's move this over here. You really can't. There you go. Okay. Then I can turn this a little bit. And so I mixed up some underglazes, just some dark orange, medium orange. You can see this in light orange. So I use, if you haven't watched my videos before, I use an underglaze tray. If you buy the semi-moist underglazes in the little packs, they're very, very expensive, as you know. Probably, I think they're like $35 for like 5 underglazes. So I buy one of these bead trays with they're unmovable dividers. So these dividers do not move. These are sealed. I used some before that weren't unmovable, and I glued them in, which worked fine too. But so I get this off of Amazon. You just need to look for I think, well, I can't remember how. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, I guess, unmovable divider bead tray. And anyway, so I put my underglazes in here, and they get kind of set up a little harder, which, they dry out a little bit, which makes them stronger, more concentrated, which, is what I like. And some of these are right out of the bottle, but a lot of them, I add colors to kind of mix them how I want them to look. So they're not, especially the oranges. These oranges, now this is a bright orange. Let me hold this up again. This is the bright orange right out of the bottle. But this is an orange. I added a little bit of red to, a little bit of brown. And this one I added a lot of orange. I'm sorry. So orange, a little bit more red, and a little bit of brown. So that way I had different colors for when I'm painting the big pumpkins. I painted some a lot bigger ones last year. So trying to figure out which is the best way for you guys to see this. I should maybe move this. Let me see here. See, I wouldn't be able to see this if I turned my camera around. Okay. I'm just going to wing this, as I usually do. Okay, so let's see here. I really don't try to make them, I don't know, too perfect. I mean, they're pumpkins, right? I think I need a little bit of white. I hope everybody's doing well. It's getting cooler where I live in Cincinnati. Today's almost in the 70s, but it's supposed to drop off tomorrow and be, I think the high 60s tomorrow. So it's like a roller coaster ride. Up and down, up and down. I'm just hoping it's not too windy for this festival this weekend. I'm not liking these pumpkins. I think I'll do another one. I might actually do a white one and a green one. I saw a picture with a white and green, and it was really cute. cute rendering of some pumpkins. There we go. Yeah, so this is the dark clay. This is Kentucky Mudworks Kentucky Brown Bear. And then in the greenware stage, when it was like leather hard, I coated it with white slip. I just brushed it on with a thick brush. And when it was set up a little bit, then I covered it with plastic and let it dry very slowly. And so that's what the white is on top of this brown clay. You can see how it's dark on the bottom and white on the top. As I mentioned in the video I just did, I don't think I'll be getting the dark clay anymore. It doesn't like to be hand built as much because there's not much grog in it, so it doesn't. I mean, a lot of people use it. They just, you know, the success rate isn't as much as a clay with grog. A clay with grog is going to be you know, stronger and not as many S cracks and all that good stuff. And plus, you know, I do like white clay because I like to paint on it. And when you have a small studio, it's really hard to go back and forth from dark brown to white clay. I mean, all your tools are covered in dark brown clay and sponges and everything. So I don't think, I think if I use the dark brown, I'll just use it where I work, where I teach at the Dunham Recreation Center here in Cincinnati, Ohio. We just started our new session, and we have then our next session will be starting in January, probably the 3rd or 4th week of January. I was supposed to go to Sanibel in January. You can see my shirt, my Sanibel shirt. I love Sanibel. My heart goes out to all those people down there in Fort Myers who lost their homes. Oh, you know, that's just devastating. I just can't even imagine what they're going through. Yeah, so we were supposed to go there in January, but obviously I highly doubt we'll, you know, get to go now. Those, you know, poor people have to rebuild their lives and just, you know, devastating. So, I don't know. Looks pretty good. So. I was never really, you know, great painter. I would love to be, but I don't know, some people just have that, you know, gift of just being such a good painter. But, you know, keep trying, right? Just keep trying, Lisa. I'm hoping once this show's over, I got an idea for some really neat Christmas trees. I got this idea off of Pinterest. I don't remember what the artist's name was, but it was a white Christmas tree. It was kind of funky, you know. So there we go. started out and this was a lot darker, and I didn't really like this dark orange because you know, with underglazes you really don't know how they're gonna fire, and some people like, you know, the different color pumpkin oranges, but most people like an orange pumpkin, you know, like a more of a standard orange pumpkin. There we go. So yeah, I think once this, because I don't do a whole lot of shows anymore. It just, you know, I end up doing them a lot more by myself, and it's, you know, if you've ever done an art show, it's kind of hard to do by yourself. You know, you don't have time to run and get food, or if you have to go to the bathroom, or you know, kind of you're kind of stuck. You have to hopefully, you know the neighbors next to you and ask them to watch your booth if you're don't have somebody to sit with you. A lot of times my son Chris comes with me, and he can at least watch the booth, but he can't sell anything. He doesn't know how to work the machine. Okay. The nice thing about these underglazes is if you don't like it, you can just keep going over it. But then sometimes it's like you don't know when to stop. Like this guy here, I think he's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. Keep kind of expanding him a little bit. I like big pumpkins. Down at the pumpkin festival, where this festival is this weekend, oh my gosh, they have some huge pumpkins down there. I made my husband drive down last year, and or I guess it was the year before maybe, and help me pick up this pumpkin that I bought. It must have been, gosh, 150 pounds. It was huge. And I was going to save the seeds and then plant some pumpkins, but that never happened. Okay, let's see. I'm going to mix up a little bit of white underglaze. So I'm putting a white pumpkin on white, which is probably not the best idea. But I'm going to add a little bit of brown. That's probably too much. So it's going to be, you know, really a whitish brownish pumpkin. Let's see how this looks. I still have a little bit of orange on my brush, so you know that kind of mixes in there a little bit, and that's okay. I don't want them all, you know, like tapered down this way. I want them to be kind of odd sizes. Maybe I'll put a little bit, and I think I'll put it behind this pumpkin. It's kind of weird painting white on white. But, you know, it may fire a little differently than the slip that's on here, so I do want to go ahead and put the white underglaze on here. last weekend I went to the Chautauqua Festival. I don't know if any of you have been to the Chautauqua Festival. It is in Madison, Indiana. It's on the Ohio River, and it has always been one of my favorite art shows. And I didn't sell there. I was just a buyer. I've never actually sold there before, but it has like 3 blocks of just, you know, the best artist out there. It's a juried show. So there's some really, really nice artists there. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do is add some water to this brown and put a couple lines in here. Let's see. I think I'm going to have to put, you know, darken it up a little bit. On the outside. Well, I'm going to have to darken up a little bit on the outside edges. I mean, I'm going to outline it with my liner, but I should probably still outline it, like maybe shade it a little bit. So these Amaco velvet underglazes, they're really nice to work with. I think they're very saturated with pigment. You can buy cheaper underglazes, but I have noticed that they don't have the same pigment level as the good ones. You know, you get what you pay for. And so I really like the velvet underglazes. They got some lugs too, L-U-G, which those are very pigmented also. But and Speedball, I do like Speedball too. But like I said, I've had them stick before, so I kind of am. I try to stay away. They have a little bit of flux in their glaze, in their underglazes, which probably makes it flow better. But it's not good for me, because I like to paint in the bottom of my pots. And let's see. And I've had things, you know, stick together before. I make some red birds, and they really, my red birds all stuck together one time. I was, you know, which is not good, right? Not good. Because I hadn't had that happen with the velvet underglazes. Yes, it's hard to really tell where this pumpkin starts and stops. I'm going to have to add a little bit of brown underglaze to the outside. Oh, I don't really like how that looks either. I wonder if they make any transfers of pumpkins to cut out and put on there. That would be easier, wouldn't it? Everybody's using transfers these days, or they're making their own transfers and applying them. You can make your own transfers with slip, Just mix up some white slip and go buy some mason stains. You can buy the mason stains. I think you can buy them from Amazon. Okay, so I'm not thrilled with that white pumpkin, but I think it'll be okay once I underline it and add some grass. And I always like to add the black out the black out black outliner. I think it really makes the colors pop. I use the Amaco Velvet Jet Black for that. And I'm gonna do there we go. So I think that I'm going to add a green one, and I might add a little baby one over here. I'm not sure. Let me show you the progress so far. I don't think it ever looks like much until you... There you go. You can kind of see the white one. So now I'm going to add the green one. I think I'm going to add a little more orange to my green one. But this drawing, it was a watercolor somebody did of some pumpkins. And theirs was really green. And I think I'm going to put this one in front of the white one too. That's one thing you have to decide kind of which ones are sitting in front of the other. The kitty cats are quiet, which is not always a good sign. I wonder if they're sleeping. We keep them in a big cage. We bought this humongous, it's like a netted cat condo for them, because I was so worried, you know, about them getting into stuff, because you know, I got pottery sitting around, and I have my stained glass stuff sitting around, and just, you know, we don't have a basement here at the house, so we got stuff sitting around. We don't have, you know, very good storage. And so I was just worried about that. So I thought, you know, until they get bigger, they're in the cat condo. Oh. So that's what happened this morning. I was going to work and I wanted to put them back in their little cat condo. But Millie, the gray tabby, she did not want to go in the cat condo. So that's how I got scratched. I shouldn't have picked her up from behind. I should have known better. It's been a while since I've had cats. We've had, you know, a lot of dogs. We had to have a couple of our dogs put to sleep in the last, I guess, couple months, and so that's how we ended up with the cats, trying to make ourselves feel better. I like that pump. I like that green. I like it more than I thought I would. Hopefully when it fires it'll look nice too. I'm going to add a brown stem. Let's see. And I'm dipping it into this, which was just a little bit of brown, a little bit of white, I hope that brown is still pigmented enough. I think I'm going to add a little bit of darker brown. Because, when you're underglazing, at least for me, like I said, I don't like it to be all one color. For me, it ends up kind of flat. So I like to mix the colors so they're a little bit more, gosh darn it, I didn't mean to do that. So they're a little more interesting, I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. Water it down just a little bit. So I'll go ahead and put the clear on here while a lot of people ask me about applying the clear. So I will make sure I apply the clear at the end of the video. Because I don't wait, and I don't bisque fire. So a lot of people bisque fire it first, and I don't do that. It's really not necessary. I've never had a problem with it smearing, so I really like those. I think I need one more little one over here. I think I'm going to add a little green one over here. Short little fat one. When I go to the some of these farmers markets, I love the pumpkins that have all the little different colors, and some of them are gourds, I guess, but I like the ones that are abnormal. They have the warts on them, and the greens, and the oranges, and whites, and all the different colors. I don't like a pumpkin that looks as plain, that's too perfect. I like all the ones that are got the long gnarly vines, and kind of looks like a hiney. I better put some stripes in there or something for. Looks like a little green hiney. It's always so much fun to, well, I shouldn't say it's not always fun, but it's fun to open a kiln and see how it all turned out, especially if it turned out the way you expected it. Which, as we know as potters, doesn't always happen. Especially if you're always trying things. A lot of potters use the same clay all the time, the same glazes. And that's it's smart, really. I mean, they know what they don't have they have a very high successful rate. A very high success rate with their kiln openings. And the more you experiment, the more you risk those successful kiln openings. Okay, so there's my pumpkins. They're cute. I don't think the people who buy these platters, what are the kittens up to? They what? They got my llama? I had that on top of the TV thing. Oh, these kittens. I bought this felted llama. It's a little felted llama about, I guess he stands about that big. Can you tell? About 6 inches tall, maybe 5 inches tall. It's a little white felted llama. And these cats keep stealing my llama. And And you know, like a cat mom. I mean, our cats have toys everywhere, lots and lots of cat toys. So why they have to keep stealing my llama? I don't know. Oh, there's you saved my llama. Oh goodness. So I'm just putting some tufts of grass in here. I think it's turning out pretty good. I was kind of concerned when I first started. I thought, this may not turn out as well as I thought. Especially when I don't draw them first, you know. I don't know, I just don't like to do that. So, I hear meowing. They want to get outside, but they're not allowed to be outside. These are indoor cats. We had a tragedy with a cat once. He wanted to be outside so bad. He'd been outside most of his life. And sadly, it did not turn out well for him. So my cats are no more outdoor cats. That's for sure. So yeah, these cats want to go outside. Surprised they're not in here walking around my feet. Okay, so like I said, this I think I like that. I think that's good. I think I'm done. So yeah, so this was the dark Kentucky Mudworks Kentucky Brown Bear clay with white slip over it during the greenware stage. Then I bisque fired it. And so now I'm going to, after this underglaze dries, I'm going to put a clear on it and I'll glaze fire it. I don't do a separate firing for my underglaze. So, but as soon as this is dry, I'm going to put an outline on it. I was debating whether to put an outline. I know I always I kind of like it. I kind of like it like that, but I think I'm going to outline. You know me, I gotta outline it. So let's see here. I don't know if I have enough time in this video to do 2 of them. YouTube doesn't like your videos to be more than like an hour. I don't know. Sometimes, oh goodness sakes, the tip came off of there. Can I use my teeth? No. Don't lose your teeth, Lisa. Let's see here. Oh, for crying out loud. Oh, this thing, the pin got stuck inside and the little head came off. Let's see if my scissors will get it off. There we go. That got it off. Oh, ever since I lost the one that came with this, I've had a heck of a time finding one that fits well. Okay, so I'm going to have to do this way. I won't be able to do this upside down, but move these paints out of the way a little bit here. So like I said, this is Amaco Velvet Jet Black Underglaze in a Zyam applicator bottle. And you know, the here's another one. Where did those go? I really like this too. I might start using this a little bit to write with. I want to start writing on the inside of my bowls. And this designer liner by Mako, now it'll come through underglaze. If it's on the bottom and you're putting underglaze over the top, this will come through when you fire. Very nice. So I might actually use some of that too. So I really like that applicator bottle also. You know, it takes some getting used to, but it's really not hard to use. There we go. Today was my first day back teaching, and I couldn't even get my hands wet with all the band-aids and stuff. Apparently they said you have to really be careful when cats scratch you or bite you, because if they get infected, you can end up in the hospital, which, you know, I wasn't aware of that. I mean, I had cats when I was young, and then we had a cat earlier. And I don't remember them really scratching me though, like this one did. This is the most I've ever been attacked by a cat. Well, you know what I didn't put on here is any leaves. I'm gonna have to go back and add a couple leaves. Let's see, let me get a little green out here. And a little bit of brown, maybe a little bit of lime green, a little bit of orange, and a little bit of white. Boy, it is really windy outside. I got too much white. I need just a little bit more orange in there. There we go. Is that you in the kitchen, Chris? Huh?
What?
Is that you? Oh, it's you in the kitchen? Thought maybe the kitty cats were up on the counter. We're trying to teach them not to climb on the counter. I have to get the squirt bottle out, and then I just kind of squirt them and say, no, no, no. I don't know, those leaves aren't the best, but we have to do, right? Let's see, we'll put another one over here. I love pumpkins. I don't know why, but and I like all the food that comes with pumpkins. I love pumpkin bread, pumpkin pie. I had pumpkin. Somebody made some pumpkin squash. No, I had pumpkin bread, and then I had pumpkin ice cream before, and that was okay. It wasn't very pumpkin-y. And then I had pumpkin ravioli once, and that was good. So I'll show you these leaves once I get them on here. I hear a cat meowing. These cats are pretty vocal. Oh, lay down. That's our Archie dog. Chris, take Archie outside, will you please? He always waits till I'm doing a video, then he's got to go outside and go potty. Even though he's already been out, 100 times today. Chris, what? Will you let Archie outside? Chris is the best little babysitter. Archie's whining here to go out. There we go. Okay, now I gotta do the grass. This has turned out so cute. I'm glad I did pumpkins. Instead of snowmen. Next time I'll do some snowmen. If I could paint upside down, I'd show you guys what I'm doing. But, well, I thought about getting this overhead cameras that a lot of the watercolor artists use. That would probably be a good idea for doing something like this. There you go. So there we go. I like that. Turned out cute. My 3 pumpkins kind of came out the same. I really wanted one that was fatter and taller and, more different sizes, but I think they're okay. I'm glad I added this little baby one over here. So I'm going to let that dry. What am I at? 49 minutes. So I do have to let this dry well before I put a clear on it. So, let me move on my chair. Oh, I'm sliding down on my chair. I have like 3 cushions in my chair. So it makes me sit up higher. But I don't know if I have time to do a whole nother thing, but I gotta let that dry. So, yeah, I'll just go ahead and do some more pumpkins. Got my orange here. So I like to get the shape first. And I think I'm going to add some yellow this time. Whoa, whoops. I almost dropped it. I want to brighten up that orange in the back. I think it's a little dark. I was mostly using that for when I was painting the big pumpkins. You guys have seen the windowsill pumpkins. So I did some of those in Underglazes. And so I used that dark as to show some of the indentations. So I'm going to lighten that up, and I'm going to add a little bit of white too here. There we go. That's brightening it up. There we go. Is anybody coming to Ensika? If you don't know what Ensika is, you can Google, I think it's Neceka, Ensika. It's coming to Cincinnati, March of 2023, and I will be there sometime. And it is a huge clay conference. Cincinnati, you know, all these cities, you know, have to kind of fight for it. It's an amazing conference. It's one of the largest in the country. And, you know, you'll see a lot of clay artists there. Most of the ones you see on Instagram and Facebook, they'll be there. You know, a lot of the, I don't know if, I mean, John the Potter, you guys follow him? He should be there. And Tim C. And I think Becca Otis. Do you follow Becca Otis? She's a production potter. She works for a company, but she makes her own stuff too. She's really, I like following her. She's funny. I've never met her in person. I just follow her on Instagram, and her and Ryan Durbin have a podcast that they do every week. I can't think of the name of it, but I've listened to them before. They're fun to listen to. I think if you just look up RD Ceramics, RD Ceramics stands for Ryan Durbin Ceramics. But yeah, he's local, and so I'm sure he'll be. I know he'll be at the Ensika because we have to all work it. Probably. If you work it, you don't. I think you get a discount to attend it. It's not. I don't think it's a real expensive conference, but it's not. It's not cheap either. You know, nothing is anymore, right? So I think I'm gonna paint a. I'm gonna paint a short, little fat green pumpkin this time. Yeah, a little bit of white to kind of try to show some depth. There we go. Add a little bit of brown to show some indentations there. But you know, the sad thing is that when you paint with underglaze, they don't all come out. Some burn out, and then you are left with some. You know, sometimes you're left with colors you didn't really plan on them to be the dominant color. But so I'm going to add a little bit of orange in here, so it's not solid green, and kind of smooths, kind of blends some of the colors together. I think that looks pretty good. I don't know, sometimes you just get painting and you're like, just muddle a bunch of colors together. Oh, and then if I do a white one, I don't know if I do a white one here, because now I should have tucked the white one in between here. I don't want to put a white one on the end. I think I'll just do, maybe I'll just do a lighter orange. And these are darker orange than the other ones. Maybe I'll just do, that's what I have so far. I think I'm going to put a little baby green one over here, like I did with my other one. I still have to load the kiln. As soon as I'm done glazing this, I'm going to load the kiln. And then hopefully these will turn out and be done Friday when I get home from work. So I can load the car and head down to the pumpkin festival. Sounds like the girls are out of control. We call them the girls. The kitties are the girls. They're both little girl cats. We call them Millie and Molly. Millie's the attack cat, and Molly's the sweetie. Okay, then, oh gosh, what am I going to put here in the end? Right here. I should have made this one white so I could tuck that one in, but I think I'm just going to do, I don't think I'll do a yellowish. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing another video. This is the video of me. I'm doing Underglazes. Okay, so this is going to be a really orange pumpkin that I'm going to tuck in behind here. I think this will look okay. Put a shadow line in here, a little bit of a shadow, so you can really see it's sitting behind there. And then I think I'll mix a little. I have a whole bunch of I've been kind of messing around with this. I have a whole bunch of this orange, all different colors. So I think I'll use that as the indentations to make, you know, you just got to kind of play around with it. And if you don't like it, you know, you can just paint over it. That's the nice thing about Underglazes. And that's a nice thing too about painting on Bisqueware versus painting on Greenware. You know, Greenware, in my opinion, it's harder to erase the colors if you don't like them, because you know, you're adding water to the, you know, clay that could crack if you get too much water. Let's see here. I thought it was turning out good. Now I'm not so sure. Let's see here. Oh. Yes, I prefer, you know, you can, with underglazes, you can use underglazes on greenware or bisque. I really prefer to paint on bisque. I've done it both ways, and you just have to make sure when you put your clear on that you don't smear it. But I'm going to show you how to do that in just a minute. Let's see, there we go. There we go. So you can kind of see a couple of them. I'm going to put this. I'll put the stems on these so you can see it finished before it's getting around supper time here. I'm trying to think all I was supposed to do today for the show. I got to remember to charge my charger, my square, you know, not charge my charger, charge the square. And I always take $100 worth of change, 5, 10s, and mostly 1s. Because you do get those people who, you know, hand you big bills, especially if they're buying at the beginning and they, you know, sometimes they say, "Oh, I'll be back," and I say, "Well, I don't know if that'll be here when you get back," and they, you know, they think you're giving them a sales pitch, but I can't tell you how many people have come back and said, "Where'd that plate go? Where'd that platter go?" I say, "Well, it sold. It, you know, sold. I tried to tell you." You know, when you're hand painting stuff, everything's like one of a kind. I don't. So. Yeah, I think that's good. I'm going to add a little bit of water to this brown that I have. I'm just kind of playing out of this cap with the brown. I want to add some brown shadows down here, and then I'm going to add my grass. So I'm going to mix. This is avocado green from Amaco, and then this is a chartreuse. So I'm going to add a little bit of chartreuse to this one. And it just kind of brightens up that avocado, because avocado can kind of burn brown if you don't put it on thick enough. Oh, sitting in this chair, it's like, oh my, I'm sitting at a weird angle. I am going to have to turn this way. You have to look, you have to watch upside down for a minute. Yes, if you live nearby, stop and say hi at the Pumpkin Festival. They have food trucks and they have magician. I'm usually right across from the magician. I'm right in the middle. I have a really good spot. This was a hard festival to get into. I got into it because I was on call, and somebody backed out like 2 weeks ahead of time, 2 weeks before the show, and they called me and said, "Hey, do you want to, can you do the festival?" And I'm like, "Heck yeah." I wasn't really well prepared, but it all worked out. Now I have this really good spot, which I don't know. I've been thinking about not doing it anymore. I just, like I said before, shows are hard to do if you're by yourself. It really is. It's sometimes every time a friend, comes to see me at the show, I'm like, "Hang on, stay here while I go pee pee." I know I shouldn't say that on the video, should I? But that's the life of a vendor at an art show, really. Oh. Okay. I think let me put the black on the other. Oh, leaves. I gotta do leaves real quick. So man, a little bit of orange, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of green. Well, it looks like it's turning more brown than I want. So I'm going to add a little bit of white in there too. Kind of lighten it up. That darn brown's coming through because I had too much brown in there in this dish. So I'm going to have to go back and just add green to a clean spot. There we go. I don't want my leaves to be, I don't want too much brown in them because then they'll want to burn brown a little bit anyway because of the avocado. Gosh darn it. I'm going to add more white. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. Just go with it, Lisa, right? Just go with it. Thank you again too for all your kind comments. You guys are so nice all the time. I don't get too many mean comments. I had one. I did have one person for the first time. One of my last videos told me I talk too much before I start the video. Oh, I said, well, I don't think I answered him back. He's probably right. But that's the way it is. I know some people who do videos, gosh, they get, oh, you get the trolls who have nothing good to say. But yeah, that's the way it is, right? You always have a few in every bunch. Okay, so I'm almost done. I promise. Okay. I gotta get this smudge off of here. All right. So this is gonna dry. And I will clear the other one while this one dries. So here's that one. It's amazing what the black liner does, isn't it? It just makes it pop. So here's this one again. So real quick, now today I'm using Amaco stoneware. It's a zinc-free clear. I love Underglazes too. They're really nice. They rarely ever run. They're very Amaco makes very stable glazes. So, and you know, I had someone tell me they could not find a Amaco number 8 fluffy brush. And they are, I tried to buy another one at the store and I could not. This is a Amaco soft fan brush number 8, and they were all out. But don't get the one that's real thin. I don't have one here, but there's some that, you know, you get 10 bristles in there. It's like, what good's that gonna do? Now you need one that you can load up. See that? Stir it in there and get that thing loaded up, because you don't want to smear this. Looks like I've got a little drop of orange here. I'm going to wipe that off. So I'm going to load this up like this, and I'm just going to go right over the top. You don't want to press hard. You just want to put it on gentle, gentle, gentle. And don't keep going, you know, back over the same spot. See how thick I'm putting that on? I'll probably only put one coat on. But the trick is to really just load up your brush and apply it, put it on with a very soft touch. Stir it up, get it loaded up. And if you're going to put a second coat on, don't put it on now. Let this dry. Let the first coat dry, because if you go to put a second coat on now, you are going to smear it, because you've just re-wetted all that. And if you see, now I don't think there's any here. If you see any chunks of underglaze sticking through the clear glaze, you're going to want to get that off with your fingernail, because it will come through. So that's the first coat. So when that dries, I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to bring this back. I'm going to outline this. So I wish I could turn this around. Let me get some of these brushes and stuff out of the way. You want to pull this away from you. You don't want to dig this into the glaze, or it will clog constantly, and then you'll be saying those bad words. You all know what those bad words are. Let's see. Okay. Now these pumpkins are darker, so I'm really anxious to see how these turn out. And these are, you know, I hardly played with the outlines of these. I hope these don't crack when I fire them. These are looking so cute. Like I said, I'm so glad that I did pumpkins. I didn't put an apron on today, did I? I forgot to put an apron on. Well, this glaze doesn't stain your clothes. That's another thing with the dark clay. It stains your clothes. Gosh, and even when you got to be so careful when you're throwing your old towels, your dirty towels into the wash machine, or your dirty apron. I've ruined some shirts that way. So that's another thing why I think I don't want it here in the house. It's too much of a mess. Make a few little pebbles here. And then, put my little dots. Don't ask me what the dots are. Maybe they're dirt, right? I don't know what they are. I just like them. All my flowers have to have, some dots. And I think that's done. By George, I think it's done. So there's that one. I can't wait to see how these turn out. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So excited. And so this is too wet. So I'll go back to here. Don't break it, Lisa, when you set it down. And I will put one more coat on here. This Amaco, now you can go in like any direction. Once that first coat's dry, you don't have to be quite as careful. I don't put more than 2 coats on though. Now some glazes, I've had problems with the ones that I mixed up. Have problems with them turning cloudy if they get too thick. I haven't had that problem with this one. My favorite is, I just bought a gallon of it. This one, no, that's Amaco stoneware. My favorite is the Amaco HF9. Zinc free. Some people say you don't need the zinc free. They say the zinc can interfere with the underglazes, which, I don't know if that's really true or not. Some people have done testing and they said they didn't see a difference, and I think it's not on I don't think it affects all the colors though either, just a few. So alright, so that's how I glaze. This is a long video today, but it's nice hanging out with friends. It's kind of hard doing pottery when you're in your room by yourself and there's no one to talk to. I'm not really a loner. Like, I like to be with people. That's why I've always taken pottery class. So see, you really can't see through that at all. That's how thick that is. But that's 2 coats. So let's do the other one real quick. We may as well, right? I think it's dry. As long as nothing is shiny. And like I said, you don't want any globs of underglaze. Because wherever there's a glob of underglaze, it will come through your clear glaze. It will stick its little head right through and you'll have a dull spot. Okay, so let's do this one more time. I think I have enough in here. I could add a little bit of water. I do add some water to this sometimes so that it goes on thinner. So I may have to get out another bottle. I just want to get a good coat over these pumpkins. There we go. And then be done. I see a little thick spot here. I'm going to take that off with my fingernail. There we go. So I won't show you the second coat. I'm just going to let this dry, and it'll be dry in a couple minutes. And then I'll put the second coat on, and then I'm going to load the kiln, and I will show you these, how these turn out. If they crack, I may just start crying. It's been a rough week. We've had some rough weeks here at the Kester house, but nothing's as rough as losing your entire home in the hurricane, right? I always have to remind myself of that, how fortunate we really are. It's easy to get down about your life. You know, you think, oh, I'm the only one who has you know, things going on in my life. I'm gonna put a little water in here because the second coat, I don't want that thick anyway. There we go. Okay, so a little bit of water. And that way, when I put a second coat on, it won't be very thick, and it'll go on nice and smooth. Like I said, when I open it, a lot of times I do add a little bit of water because I don't like my clear to go on too thick. So let me raise this. See if I can raise it without. I forgot I had these Band-Aids on. Whoa, there we go. Okay. See, it's getting darker outside now. See all my Band-Aids? I had to raid my son's. He's got all these different color Band-Aids, and they're really good ones. They stick really well. And so I had to raid his Band-Aid drawer. And they said they have to be very careful about keeping Neosporin, like an antibiotic, on here. They said cat scratches and bites can get really infected. So yeah, no throwing. Well, I'm not going to throw anyway until next week, and they'll be healed over by then. I do want to start throwing some. You guys ever make? Oh, you're crooked. You're crooked. You're not crooked, really. You know, not crooked like you're a thief. I like to hope not. Unless you're like a kleptomaniac or something. What was I going to say? Oh, oil bottles. I'm going to start making some oil bottles again. I made some. I got to find my stoppers, though. I ordered a whole bunch of stoppers. And so I want to make some oil bottles. They're kind of a pain in the butt, but I've had some people asking for them. So I'm going to make some oil bottles. So I'll do a video on that. And I'm going to try to do a live video because I was just approved from YouTube to do a live video. I didn't realize you had to be approved. But anyway, so maybe I'll do a live video when I do oil bottles. And I don't know what else I'm going to do. Oh, Christmas trees. I'm going to do some Christmas trees and some snowman lanterns. This should be fun. They're like the pumpkin ones I just showed you in the last video, but snowmen. Nothing real exciting, but and so I'm going to try these Christmas trees though. We'll see. I'll do a video on those. Anyway, thank you for watching, and thank you for all your kind comments all the time. And if you like my video, please subscribe and share. You know, it helps get more people, you know. So anyway, but have a great day, and thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks.